Dr. Madison Lee. So this deck was interesting because how the Precon is built, it's like, I don't know how this deck wins. Like, really, it doesn't. You would think this would have an overabundance of artifacts, because what it is for people that aren't watching, that are listening, it is 1 blue, 1 red, 1 white, human scientist 2/3. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you get an energy counter. You can tap it, pay 1 energy, target creature gets 1/0, trample and haste until end of turn. Or you can tap it and pay 3 energy, draw a card. Or you can tap it and pay 5 energy, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So, like,
yeah, seems like an energy artifact, red, white, blue.
Right.
That all kind of makes a bunch of sense. And you're saying there's not a lot of artifacts there.
I shouldn't
so
say
you're
there's
telling
not a
me
lot.
when you make cuts, it's not going to be any artifacts?
No. What did I cut? I gotta get to that here in a second.
Probably bad energy cards. I can see that.
Well, there's the bobbleheads I always cut out of these stupid decks. The bobbleheads are bad. Most of them. There's like one good one.
They're fine.
But okay, so I guess when I would first see this card, I'd be like, okay, you're playing a lot of artifacts, maybe free artifacts, getting the energies built up, maybe even doing some what is it called? It's not trashing. It's where you draw cards and you're discarding stuff and you're rummaging or looting.
Rummage is discard and draw.
Yeah. So what you could do, because it's blue, you could have discard draw. You could have whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying. But throwing big artifacts into your graveyard and then bringing it back with the pay 5 ability. But the thing is even doing that, you can't really abuse it because they come back tapped. So it's not like you can take advantage of Blightsteel Colossus coming in and killing somebody, out of nowhere, because it wouldn't work anyways because of your graveyard, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you can't surprise kill somebody. So
Right.
What I did with this deck is I kind of went more with the surround damage with the artifacts and everything. So well, let me just say the cards that I did cut. I did cut a total of 10, I believe. Hang on.
And generally,
10. Yep.
Plus or minus a couple. It's generally 10.
Yeah, so I got rid of like a Loyal Apprentice, Dispatch, Thirst for Knowledge, Crush Contraband, both the bobbleheads, T-45, Power Armor, did not like that one. Brotherhood, what is that one called? I wrote it in my notebook for later, and I should have Brotherhood Vertibird? I don't know. Vertibird? I guess
that's a cool word. It should be a word.
Vertibird. Vertibird?
Birds that are vertebrae.
Yeah.
Vertibird.
It's a vehicle, so you'd love that one. And then Vault 13, and then I cut 1 land from this one. So, okay, so those are the ones that I cut. I got 10 cuts out of there. Here is the budget stuff that I added here. So
can I ask how many lands are actually in it now after you cut the one?
36.
Is it like 38?
36 lands. Oh. Yeah, so they had 37 before. Okay, so Aetherworks Marvel, obviously that's one of the easiest ones to put in here. And this is my most expensive one at like about $9.36 or something like that.
Okay.
It fluctuates. Yeah, because I did see when I started making this deck last week or doing the budget stuff, this was only like $4 at that point. The foil one was really expensive, but this was only $4. It has since gone up since then. So this is my most expensive card, but I think you need it in here. If you're working with all this energy, why not get some really good card advantage by the looking at the top 6? That's whenever a permanent you control is put in the graveyard, you get an energy. That part doesn't matter as much. It does help with this, but you're getting energy from other things in the deck.
Right.
So that I also went with more artifact stuff since you're playing a lot of artifacts. I went with Alibu Ancient's Witness. Is also one of the more expensive cards. It's over $5 at this point, about $5.50 or something. 3, 1 red and 1 white. Other artifacts you control have haste. That's not too big, but it's whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control attack. This deals damage to any target, and you scry X, where X is the number of tapped artifacts you control. So if you're able to tap them, which there's some other stuff I have in here for tapping down your artifacts, you can do a lot of damage. This is kind of a little bit of spot removal, and that kind of takes out some of that spot removal that I did take out from the deck with what did I do? Crush Contraband, which was one of your Stump the Smith Savants a while back. Remember that one? I don't think you got it though.
Yeah, no, I might have. I don't know.
Okay, and then next we got, oh shit, me and reading cards. Gurupper? What is it? Thank you.
I'm not gonna help you.
You can't even read.
It's fine.
It's the Aether Grid. So this is
Aether Grid.
yeah. It is 2 and 1 red enchantment. Tap 2 untap artifacts you control. It deals 1 damage to any target. So there you go. You're tapping your stuff down. There's a couple of them I have in here where you can tap your artifacts for benefit, and then that even takes more advantage of Alabu that I just talked about. Golem, Dwarf, Emissary.
I shouldn't dwarf emissary, but
There we go. Thank
it's
you. I
glowing,
can't even
right?
Oh, it is glowing. What did I say?
Glowing? Well, like you should know this one. I know glowing is that's a word they said.
I can't even say emissary, right? Is that
Emissary.
Right? Okay. So it's whenever you cast a
G-Ripper? Okay. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it. So G-Ripper.
That's how that Aether Grid is. Okay. Whenever you cast a historic spell, create a treasure. You can only do it once each turn, but then you can sacrifice a treasure and go target creature. You're going to be the deck itself has a lot of legendaries. You have a lot of artifacts, which are historic spells. So you're getting treasure every time, once per turn, but you're getting a treasure, and you can use your treasure if you want to goad stuff, but more so you're going to use it to cast more spells. Ingenuous artillerist. God, I don't want to read right now. Today is not working. But this is going to take advantage of getting your artifacts in play and doing damage across the board. So 2 colors and a red. Whenever 1 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, this deals that much damage to each opponent. So I
should still hit this.
Just can't even read.
Just saying.
Then we got Joria, Weatherlight Captain. You should have this if you're playing artifact decks or if you're playing legendary or sagas or any of that, anything with historic stuff. But whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. Ton of that in this deck, so you're just gonna get tons of value off of Joria. Kappa Cannoneer. So this one, I'm so glad they kept reprinting this one because it was so expensive, and now this is only like it's under $1 at this point. But it
definitely go get a couple of those.
Yeah, so it has improvise, so you can use your artifacts to bring this out. It has ward 4, but whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it on this, and it can't be blocked this turn. The nice thing is it's not just cast, it's when it enters. So your tokens that you're bringing in that are artifacts and all that, this just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So this is kind of, in a way, one of your game winners because it does have ward 4 on it, which is pretty tough to deal with in itself, but this just continuously
unblockable can be just really cheap to come out.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a great card in blue artifact decks for sure.
Yep. And then Reckless Fireweaver, we're doing a similar thing to the Ingenuous dude.
I just sent a foil one of those over to hockey.
Nice. Oh, good for you.
You should be happy with that.
So basically, any artifact that enters the battlefield under your control deals 1 damage to each opponent, so you're hitting that surround damage. Psy Master Thopterist, whenever you cast an artifact, get more artifacts, or an artifact Thopter, and it has a little bit of draw. You can sacrifice some of those artifacts for draw. And then Shimmer Dragon. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control to draw a card. As long as you have 4 or more artifacts, it has hexproof. It's just fantastic. It's better. I like it better than Psy Master Thopterist because you're tapping them down, but Psy is going to refill your board. All these are working together with artifacts. So I kind of went a little more deep on the artifact theme of what I felt like the deck should be. So
okay. Yeah, I mean a lot of that makes sense. A couple I don't know what you did in the Mr. Unlimited section, but like I think if you add some untappers, something like Unwinding Clock really helps out Aether Grid and Shimmer Dragon. Did you end up having that one in there?
I do have some untappers, but I didn't put that one in.
Okay. And then the other one that I think would really like with glowing or anything that's 1 per turn always makes me want to play things on other people's turns. And so something that gives like artifacts flash and stuff like that. That tends to be what I end up wanting to do. And so like Urza's battle Cruiser or something from Dominaria United has been really, really good. I don't know if you saw that one when you're digging around either.
No, not that one. I didn't put.
But I like all of these. They're all great ads.
Yeah, so the total is just under the $20 at $19.38. So see, I didn't break the 20. I'm good. I got to get to this. The Mr. Unlimited section now. Now, no budget whatsoever.
Mr. Unlimited.
This is the other cards I think you could add. So I'm obviously gonna. These aren't. Some of this is not expensive. I just wanted to point them out. I have the energy cards that aren't in the deck, so that's going to be in this section as well. I know it says 19, but it's just I just wanted to point out some of these energy ones. Aether Flux Reservoir. If you're casting a lot of stuff, it's also an artifact. You're gaining life, all that stuff. You can deal damage and stuff. Cityscape Leveler. It's an artifact removal. Has the Unearth. You're destroying non-land permanents. I just got this into my the Mole God deck, and I thought that one was a pretty nice add in here. The other thing too is your commander's bringing stuff back from your graveyard with the energy. So if this goes to your graveyard, you're bringing it back, destroying permanents, non-land permanents. When it attacks, it does the same thing. It's just a great card. Cyberdrive Awakener. So there's a lot of artifacts in this deck that aren't necessarily creatures. This is going to turn all those into 4/4s. Could be a game winner. Again, these are a little bit more expensive. Here's one of our energy, the module
Creators.
Yeah, energy creator. So it's not expensive. Dockside, obviously. Esper Sentinel. Gonti's Aether Heart. So I had to choose one of the more expensive energy cards, and this one was the most expensive. This is the extra turn one.
What is that up to now?
It was like 13 or 14 bucks for the regular one. So yeah, it's
we are kind of going off a TCG player. I don't think we mentioned that at the beginning.
Oh,
so
that's a good point.
And it should be off to the side in the Moxfield deck list that we have of the ads and everything there. So if you want to go check everything out on Moxfield as well, you should be able to see that there in our budget deck list.
Yep. So make sure to follow us on Moxfield. Also, Helm of the Host. I'm trying to add more artifact stuff in here. So Helm of the Host seemed pretty good. Getting multiple triggers off your commander. And this is just an artifact as well. I don't have the Wander Glyph. Do you have this? I don't think I got this card, but it seems pretty sweet.
It's very pretty.
Yeah. It's like a $7-8 card or something at this point.
No, did it go back up? I thought it dropped again. Is that what?
Maybe
you might want to.
I don't
switch the non.
I don't want to zoom in, but no. Maybe that's what it did. Maybe that's what some of these versions that it just picked up.
They got too expensive. Yeah, so you just have a more expensive version on it.
Yep. So this is just creating more artifacts, and then if you have the City's Blessing, your artifact creatures get 2/2. Another energy guy, Lightning Runner, not expensive, so you can go pick that up.
I was gonna say, did that jump up with this? But I got a couple laying around.
Yeah,
I was hoping
it
went up.
It's cheap, but I just wanted to show that one
All
off.
right.
Mithril Coat to protect your commander a bit there. I'd love to have that in here, but it's now like 13-14 bucks at this point. Well, that might be just because of that full art thing. You're getting me but still, no.
No, it's a $10 card at least.
Yeah.
8 to 10, whatever.
So some of that, when I was thinking about the rummaging, or not rummaging, whatever, putting stuff into your graveyard, having Platinum Angel and Platinum Empyrean would be nice, and being able to bring that back, because you can bring it back at instant speed. It comes into play tapped. You don't care that you're not blocking with them. They don't need to do anything. Your life doesn't change, or they can't win the game. So I thought these would be kind of nice little adds as artifact creatures. Then we get Sensei's Top, Smothering Tide, the One Ring, 1,000-year elixir, so we're getting some untapped stuff there, and then Urza, Lord High Artificer. So you're using your artifacts to give yourself some mana, and it generates.
This is the best ramp card in the blue artifacts deck.
Yep. So, all right, so that is the science deck in a nutshell.
Yeah, kind of turn it a little bit more artifacty.
Yeah, you gotta
probably. I mean, it needs energy needs more.
Yeah,
I think that makes a ton of sense to move it a bit more in the artifact direction.
Yep. So I think I didn't like this when we first previewed it. I think if I did all these changes, I think I'd like this deck a lot more. Like once I started messing with this and picking out the cards I'd want in this, I was like, I actually could see playing this deck. It wouldn't be one I'd go and build myself, because it feels very like energy heavy, but it doesn't at the same point because all you're doing is casting artifacts. You don't have to play any energy stuff. You can just cast your stuff and your energy's building up. It can be strictly just artifacts.
And the commander uses the energy as whatever it needs to be, reanimation or...
And if your commander dies, your energy is still there. The energy's on you. It's not on your commander. So that's kind of the cool thing here. So you could really just change this into a complete artifact deck and utilize that. Like, that's what I would want to do, but with a $20 budget, I was like,
that's a lot more work.
I can't replace 50 cards and then throw in 50 cards for 10 cents. So that doesn't work out that way. Hey gang, the best way to support the Commander Smiths is make sure you slap that like button. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel. Also, check out our online store, commandersmiths.com, where we have metal tokens, mugs, t-shirts, playmats, and more.